All right, let's wrap up. Let's look to the future, 2013. What's on the horizon?
Well, again, I was talking a little bit about the Wii U. I think that's going to be, what do we see there? What's Microsoft and Sony's response? What's really coming up with the new consoles? And, again, I already said I don't want to see it, but I do see a crowdfunding bust on the horizon for this to look forward to. While we did say that there were not some great things coming out of E3, Ubisoft really stepped it up, and I think that Watch Dogs is going to be phenomenal.
I would agree with you on some points, at least in what we're going to see in 2013. I would be incredibly impressed if we did not see the launch of the next 360.
I'm thinking probably at E3 for maybe even an end of the year release.
They'll announce a November release probably, and if not, then it will be the new trend in the industry is the late winter, early spring is also a time now for some reason. That just happened since 2010 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I would suspect that we'll see that. At the very least, you're going to get an announcement from Microsoft. Mm-hmm. I would say on the same note that you'll probably see the same thing from Sony. You'll get one of two things from Sony. You'll either get our system is so good that we are going to continue it until 2045 before the next PlayStation, or B, okay guys, now we actually have to release the fact that we've been working on this, even though everybody in the industry knows that we're already working on a new console, or at the very least, given a hint that it's being worked on, because we haven't even really heard from them that it's technically being worked on, as far as I know. Obviously the Wii U is already in effect, and I don't think Nintendo plans on releasing a new console for the next at least 2 years. So you're not going to see anything out of that. That's their 1.5 generation gap. And then I would say, instead of a bust, or like a housing bubble bust for the
fiscal cliff of gaming.
Instead of the lemming walk off the edge, I think what we're probably going to see, we're probably going to see reform instead of a complete bust. We might see a partial bust, and I think we're going to see reform with how accountability is dealt with. I think that would be the biggest thing that you would see with that, at the very least. I don't think it's going to slow down at all. There's way too much money put into it for it to slow down. There might be a couple of disappointments, but I think in general we're going to see more good than bad out of it. And so on that note, I would still suspect there to be some reform, but we'll probably still see it continue. I think you're going to see another round of a lot of sequels, because everybody will likely be gearing up, making as much money as possible, getting ready for the next generation. They need to make as much money as they can now in the ways that they know will work before moving in with all new IPs or things of that nature for the next round of consoles. Mm-hmm. The one thing I'm not looking forward to seeing that I think is probably going to happen is a decline in PC releases announced next year, or that will be released next year, because the PC market had quite an upswing here as the life of the consoles have doubled what they used to be. Mm-hmm. It used to be a 4-year cycle. Now all of a sudden we're this is pushing 7 in 2013, or 8 even in the terms of an Xbox 360. 4-year cycle.
And you know what? That's sort of to add on to that, and I think what's really helped the PC market is Steam has just been such a juggernaut in this, in terms of digital distribution. A lot of times the PC market, it was so easy for, I don't want to put the sort of onus on the pirates and pirating, but it was quite common. You had people that were really gamers who were on PC were probably more technical users, so they were going to have this thing happen. In that sense that, with digital distribution being so easy, it almost has to move over to the consoles, and I think that's also going to be something you're seeing as well. You see that already with like the PlayStation Network really starting to embrace that a little bit, and it's actually done fairly effectively. So hopefully, I think that's going to be something that pushes its way console side 2013.
I'm seeing a bit of a rise in esports next year. I mean, you look at, League of Legends, the finals in particular, 900,000 concurrent viewers online, $1 million prize purse. Like, you can't ignore that if you're a sporting network, I find. So I'm thinking maybe this is something that's going to maybe transition into the mainstream. What do you think?
Well, Twitch was already bought up. I can't remember who bought them. I can't remember if it was NBC or somebody. Somebody bought them. I should know this, but I forget. Somebody got the rights to them. So it's in the pipeline, and I suspect that while you're not going to see it on ESPN 1 anytime soon, you might see it on ESPN 92.
Ocho?
Yeah, the Ocho. Yeah, some obtuse thing on Channel 9, 14. Yeah, it's absolutely going to happen. I don't know if it will be next year, but you'll probably start to see the happenings of that if we continue on the path that we're seeing now. I mean, within the last 6 months, we're pretty much on a vertical climb at this point. It's ridiculous. And it's pretty much on the back of League of Legends. And the $1 million prize pool thing was just the most epic marketing of all time. Instead of spending $1 million in television marketing, they just put $1 million into a prize pool, and the internet went crazy. So very smart on Riot's behalf, no doubt. But I would agree that you're definitely going to see a continued rise across the board for esports. Twitch will be at the forefront of that. As they continue to pretty much dominate things after they brought on Team Solo Mid. That was OWN's big leg up on Twitch, was they had League of Legends pinned down, and they still largely have a lot of the League players, and that's pretty much what drives OWN. But now with Team Solo Mid on Twitch, it's a much more even playing field, and you'll definitely see the numbers start to climb for viewership. As more and more people are able to stream. XSplit, FF Split, 2 or 3 others are starting to come out, open source projects for people to be able to stream. Stream quality is going through the roof now across the board. People are streaming on laptops, like anything, you name it, they're streaming it now. Yeah. And that's just going to continue. And as that becomes a thing more and more, the one thing that I'm not looking forward to is, on my end, is that YouTube is going this way, and live streaming is going this way. And so it will be for people like myself and Jeff on Mike TV, it will be a happy medium between the two, and start to bridge the gap, because even though YouTube has its own streaming network, it's not where gamers are going for their streaming, and it's not where they're about to start going either. And for monetization's sake and all those fancy $5 words that I have to concern myself with on a daily basis, the live streaming portion will definitely start to take over. And it's all thanks to esports. But it's a weird merger. Like the esports thing and the live streaming thing, it was a perfect storm. That happened at the exact same time. StarCraft 2 came out, Twitch TV became a big thing. They came together and made wonderful children. And now we have the possibility of this starting to hit up TVs here in North America, which is absolutely amazing.
All right, 2013, your most anticipated game. One word answer, Mike.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
Absolutely.
BioShock Infinite. Yeah, you didn't think of that one, did you?
I don't.
Oh, the burn is deep.
I don't regret it, but
It was going to be a 2012, and then they pushed it to February.
Yeah.
I'm going with God of War Ascension.
Oh, that's a cop-out.
You say everything I say is a cop-out.
Well, it's God of War.
It's amazing.
You know what? It's probably going to get the special edition PS3 for it, too.
Probably, I bet you. Going to make the Chains of Olympus noise every time you turn it on, too. Every single time.
All right, it's been great, guys. Looking forward to doing more of these in the future, actually, with a lot of people that you guys at home will know and love for sure. Now, if you like the Gamers Roundtable and you want to see some topics covered that we didn't talk about today, maybe you want to see them in some future episodes in January, you can hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter @GameCodeTV and Facebook.com/GameCodeTV. And that'll do it for this episode. Thanks so much for joining us for our year in review. We're actually going on Christmas break, but don't worry, we are going to be back on January 7th with all new episodes. So keep in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter in the meantime during our very brief hiatus. But always thanks to the Last Game Store for letting us hang out here. We'll see you in the new year. Have a safe and happy holiday.
So say the Ouya console. I'm a member for that. I get the console.
You're holding
2
it with
controllers.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got so much money. Yeah. It's already there. It's already good at streaming it, and I'm gonna have it next year. Watch, and I'll play it. And I'll review it.
If you don't, Mike's gonna be knocking on your door saying
it'll be there. That's the biggest Kickstarter of them all. But